Good morning. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Our first item on our agenda is citizen comments. And the first person I have signed up is Dick Mork. Morning, Dick.
Morning, Dick.
Good morning, and Merry Christmas when it gets here.
Merry Christmas.
And I'd like the Board of Commissioners give the county a good Christmas present. It might take one of you or two of you, and that is to open up the gates on our county forest, take out the stumps and stuff on the roads and fill up them tank traps, and take the signs down out at Bassador Beach. And that would be a good present for everybody in the county. Thank you.
Thanks, Dick. So next, it looks like I have several people that want to speak on basically the same issue. You're all welcome to speak, of course. I will remind you that our time limit is 3 minutes, and please make sure you state your name for the record and the town you're from. First is Teresa Avery.
Good morning. Thank
Morning.
you for your work for our community, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak on these matters. I think that's one of the most frustrating things is watching everything happen and just feeling silenced. So I really appreciate being able to speak. Many people are very frustrated. Our leaders are telling us to trust them, trust the science, but we've been getting a lot of inconsistent information and oftentimes very unscientific information. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, to figure out when they first told us the death rate of COVID at 3%, that they were only counting the people that were coming in for tests who were already sick. And so we're like, well, that's not accurate. And then there was the wear a mask, don't wear a mask. And when they told us to don't wear a mask, they were telling us it was dangerous to wear a mask. So we're hearing all these inconsistent things that make the population feel like we don't know who to trust. What we would like is for you to trust us to make wise decisions. A lot of the restaurants, we've seen the efforts they've made putting in dividers to create a safe environment and putting money into creating that kind of environment and then just to get knocked back down is very discouraging. Some of the decrees that have been made, like when they first shut down the parks, we were all scratching our heads. Bullard's Beach there, I'm from Bandon. You are never closer than usually probably 60 feet from anybody, never mind 6 feet, and yet they closed the whole thing down. And then the 10 o'clock curfew for restaurants in some states, it again, leaves people scratching their heads, making people feel like we are being just kind of shuffled around. And we kind of consider it a global game of Simon Says. Simon Says, do this now, and then everybody just does it. And so what we're asking is, again, for you to trust us. We're hoping to have a work session so we could talk in more depth about some of these things to create a resolution where our county could take a stand against some of the stuff that's destroying the community. And in particular, my husband and I are very aware of how this is impacting people globally. We have a pastor, we're very close. He's a gypsy pastor in Romania. And on a daily basis, he has children coming to his door looking for food on a daily basis. And we see the same thing in India. All these things across the globe that is affecting people. And we are going to see some pretty horrible things down the road if people don't take a stand. So thank you so much for hearing me and your consideration.
Thank you. Hi, please don't. We've got to move from one to the other. Can I ask you to please mute your line if you just called in? Thank you. Next is Daniel Wilson.
Good morning, Daniel Wilson. I'm also from Bandon. I've come in support of many that are here. I don't know if everyone got on the list to speak, but just simply because being a pastor of the local community, a building contractor in the local community for 30 plus years, being part of the hospital board there for years. My wife serves there on the foundation board. You know, we've seen a lot happen in the community about this. I have two daughters that are RN. My youngest daughter, Gabrielle, is an RN for our facility that my wife and family runs. It's a care facility. I've brought some facts here that I just want to state in support of what has begun here, the discussion that's begun about this COVID-19. COVID-19 is definitely been terrible for all of us this year. But we've also seen what's more terrible than that is corruption in government, in science. If we'll look at all of it as a whole, there's been conflicting information from both sides, from all different directions that are conflicting. And so therefore, personally, and I think I would advise all of us to do this, is to go back to the truth. There's only one truth, and that's the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. But some of the facts that I'm concerned about is and as well as some of the doctor friends of mine, the nurses, we've been putting together some different statistics and facts about the adverse effect, whether it's truth or lie, about this COVID and about causing people to remain isolated. Not to mention the adverse effect it's having on businesses, restaurants, closing that will never open. There's a trickling effect that's happening in business and finance that is staggering. But some of the statistics I want us to understand is one of them here that my daughter gave me is about pediatrics and COVID-19. There's less than 6% of COVID cases have occurred in children, yet children are remaining isolated from the schools. Another title, I'm just going to read off the titles because of my limited time. Protecting Youth Mental Health During the COVID-19 Pandemic, a Challenging Engagement and Learning Process. That's from Clinical Perspectives. America is facing a teen suicide pandemic. We just heard just recently that a 5th grader has committed suicide. The suicide rate is on a terrible rise in our youth. Not that it already wasn't an issue here in Oregon. We know it has been. But it's this COVID and this isolation that's been happening is really begin to affect in terrible ways. Child abuse reports drop 70% in 1 month, leaving Oregon officials concerned. Now we have a crime happening in a home, and if you stop and think about it, if there's a crime happening in the home and it's dropped 70%, there's something going on here now. Well, it might be a reporting issue. Teachers can't report if the children aren't in front of them. There's all different scenarios here, and I don't have time to read them all, but we've been putting together some stuff to begin to help you understand. I understand, as a building contractor for 30 years, your focus is on maybe building permits, this, that, development. I don't know all the details of your job, and we appreciate you, but I think it's going to be hard for you to really maybe get some truth and maybe get some understanding from what the people are suffering from and what the people need from you. We know that...
Sir, I believe our attorney has given me the signal that it's been more than 3 minutes. Is that
Has
correct?
it been more than 3 minutes already?
It's been about 5.
Okay.
Has it?
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll be back, and we'll, I want to bring some more professionals with me and share more later. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. All right. Next, I have Denise Vasquez. Nat, you're going to have to give me more of a signal when time is up, because I wasn't sure what you were trying to tell me.
I'm not very good at charades. Yeah.
I'll run my own timer, thanks.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm just...
All right, go ahead, Denise.
My name is Denise Vasquez. I'm from Bandon. I have a local business that is looking at another shutdown as of Friday for takeout only. It's not fair to the restaurants. As far as I know, restaurants aren't spreading, or people aren't, I don't know. We're very diligent in our food handling, our cleanliness, and I don't understand why the restaurants and the bars are taking the blunt end of this. We're practicing social distancing. We need to come together as Coos County and say it's not working. The shutdowns, the opening, the shutdowns. It's not working, and we need to come up with another solution. So I passionately oppose the shutdowns, the mask mandates. All of this is unconstitutional, and I request a roundtable, workshop, whatever, where we can sit down and we can talk without a 3-minute limit and try to come up with a better solution for Coos County. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Guys, it's really meant to be public comment, and I really need you to not do the applause and all that, so we can just keep them moving through. Hey. Do you, all right. Thank you. Tanya DiPaolo? Yes, I have a name plaque right here if you need help spelling it. Happy
First
to
and foremost, my name is Tanya
Thanks.
DiPaolo. I live in Bandon,
I'm sorry,
Oregon.
would you repeat your name, please?
Tanya DiPaolo is my
Thank you.
name. I live in Bandon, Oregon. I also vehemently oppose these shutdowns, the mask mandates. First and foremost, God is who I am loyal to. He is my creator. He gave me an immune system. He gave me holes in my face so that I can breathe freely. These masks are dangerous. I have heart issues, and this causes me to have a lack of oxygen. So that affects me on a daily basis. What's going on is incredibly wrong. It's incredibly unconstitutional, and everything that these people are saying, I fully agree with. We have a right to live. We are living, breathing, walking human beings, men and women. And what's going on? We're not children. We don't serve the government. The government is for the people. And somehow, some way, that has been lost. And the government has created fear in the people. And we need to take back our rights to live and move about freely and be happy and prosper and thrive. And government is trying to squash that. And that's not okay. We have one life. We're not here that long, okay? So are we going to live in fear? Are we going to live in shutdown? Until when? Till when? So I also would like to request a roundtable discussion where we're not at a 3-minute limit, because this is too big and too important to be limited to 3 minutes, to maybe one meeting in a month or 2 or a year. Because the more we let this go, the more we lose out as the people. And I have friends that have businesses that are losing their livelihoods. And that's not okay. It's not okay. So I oppose this. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you. Gloria Robinson.
My name is Gloria Robinson, and I'm from Bandon, Oregon. I ditto everything that my friends before me have said. Our communities are suffering, especially ones that depend on restaurants and public stores like our community, Coos Bay, several of the coastal towns. This is killing them. Many of them can't survive it. They're not big corporations. They're not Amazon or places like that have ample resources to just continue on a daily basis without income coming in. We pay your income, so you're guaranteed a paycheck every month. They're not without citizens being able to go into their establishments. And this has just gone on way too long. And this mask thing is the biggest bunch of bull I've seen in my life. Too many people are actually getting sick wearing them. It's not protecting you like you think it is. This is a conditioning. Are you going to continue to be ruled by other people telling you what's good for you? I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm a free citizen. I have the constitutional right, and I'm going to exercise those rights. And you guys need to do the same thing. This county needs opened up, and it needs opened up now. Thank you.
Thank you. Rob Taylor. Rob Taylor. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Nate, I didn't want to forget you, man. Oh, shoot.
I was
just
wondering,
destroyed the
yeah, thank you.
whole internet there. These things are, Rob Taylor from Bandon. This is an issue of freedom. This is an issue of people being told to do things by bureaucrats who are taking statistics that are not accurate. We know that they're not accurate. We know that the numbers are incorrect. And we know that we can open up this county because there's plenty of counties across this nation who have the same metrics or the same statistics that we have, but they're not practicing the same metrics, and yet they don't have people getting sick the way they're getting sick in places that are closed down. I would imagine that places that have public transit are more of a problem than anything that's happening here, and that's why our rural communities are doing so much better. But eventually we can't run away from this illness. And we got to ask ourselves, what are we going to do? Are we going to destroy our economy to come out of the economy completely broke and in poverty, and yet we'll still die of COVID anyway because it's not going anywhere? Even with the vaccine coming, many of us are not going to take the vaccine, and eventually we're just going to have to live with the fact that we're going to deal with it through herd immunity. It's the way Sweden has taken through this policy. And yes, these masks are a burden, no matter who says so. Because whoever's saying to put on the mask and telling you to live like that are cowards. They would get on their knees and grovel just so that they think they could get a little bit of safety. We're not getting safety right now because eventually when we come out of this, how many trillions of dollars are we going to be in debt? How many renters and landlords are going to have to give up their property? How many restaurants are going to close down? And it's not just the restaurants. My family has a business who sells to the restaurants, the golf courses, and the hotels and motels, and guess what? When all of those close, we have no one to sell to. John, you get a paycheck every week or every month. I don't know when you get it. Melissa, you get one, and Bob, you get one. Some of us, we went through a couple of months with no money, nothing. Nobody came to our rescue. All you did was give us orders. Then when we show up to a meeting and someone happens to clap, Melissa gets irate with us. It's ridiculous.
I'm just trying to keep the meeting moving.
It doesn't matter. We got time. We got time to do this, Melissa. And the problem is that you aren't willing to give us the time to speak, and that's why we need a work session where we can have this discourse, where we can discuss it. And don't tell me you can't do anything, because you can pass something. You could pass an ordinance forcing them to coordinate with the county. If DEQ comes in here or OSHA comes in here, you can force them to coordinate with you before they go out and give tickets. You can have the sheriff, you can give him a directive not to put any manpower or resources going after churches or anything else they ask him to go after. This can happen. It's happening in other counties. You just got to have to stand up and do it. Melissa, you just got elected to the chair of the Oregon Association of Counties. Then make a stand for it and be a leader. Stop being a coward and putting on your mask and following the orders. Governor Brown is an idiot. She doesn't know what she's doing. That's an understatement. And we're listening to her. And we're dying on the vine, John. So remember that when you go get your check. Bobby, you get a check? Good. Because I've had my wife work hundreds of hours and not get paid for it.
Thank you, Rob. It's been 3 minutes, actually over 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you for the extra time.
Rennie Nason? Rennie, is that right? Yep. Okay, thanks. I try to get it right.
I don't think I can compete with it. I'm so glad to see everybody here. The reason I'm here is because I'm a father and a grandfather. I have 12 grandchildren. What's going on, what I see happening to our governments, local and state and above, shames me. It's not the country that I knew. It's not the John Wayne country I grew up on. You guys are our local representatives. I'm here to beseech you to be the men that I want you to be, and women, to stand up for our rights, our constitutional rights, for our children and our grandchildren. So that's it. That's why I'm here.
Thank you. Don Gurney? Don?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning,
Don.
Don. How are you?
My subject is really off of what most of the people are here for.
It's public comment. You can have whatever you want.
Well, I'm going to. I'm going to talk about county roads. How's that? That changes everything here. I'm recommending to the Commissioners to put a call system for county roads that has problems, whether they're hazardous or what they are. Our county has 4 days off every week. People drive the road 7 days a week. I went to the road department and asked them, if I have a tree across the road, who do I call? I had quite a few different answers. I says, personally, I have 2 quick calls that I can call a couple commissioners. Most people don't have any idea who to call. What they call is 911. 911 is for emergencies for people, not for roads. So I'd recommend our new 911 system has a call system that roads can be called, like a 511 or a number like that people are aware of. So my comment to you this morning is look into this and give people a chance to have clear roads. Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don.
John, is that something you can look into?
Yeah,
Thanks.
of course.
Del Carter, Redemption Acceleration?
Mine's property redemption.
Okay. Do you want to wait till the end? It's fine with me. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time reading this name. Is it Rawl Humphreys? Sorry. Rawl Paul. It's the pen was going out a little bit, it looks like. Last name is Clay Humphreys. No? Did I have anybody else who wanted to speak who did not get signed up? I saw a few people came in late. We'll go Eldon, and then you, and then you. Make sure you state your name, and I'll write it down when you get up there. Eldon?
Eldon Rollins, Cofield.
Morning.
Where to begin? The reason the parks were shut down was because, not in all of the parks, but in some of the parks, people were congregating and violating simple instructions on how to not spread this disease. Same for bars after 10 p.m. As far as God giving us immune systems, I would suspect that God gave immune systems to the 300,000 people who have died in this country so far. That's more people than died in 4 years of World War II.
Ma'am, please let him speak.
And it's happened in less than 1 year. People of a certain political faction had it within themselves to limit the spread of this disease fairly early on during its course and chose not to, and are now suffering the physical and economic repercussions of their earlier decisions, and then blaming people who have attempted to stop the spread of the disease. And that's beyond annoying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eldon. All right, who else? Guys, come on. Let's have some basic manners. People are allowed to disagree in this country. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jessica Neal. I'm from Bandon. I own a restaurant and bar there, which will be shut down on Friday again. My employees are getting laid off for the third time. We wear masks, we social distance.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be really rude. What was your name then?
My name is Denise Basquez.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did I just skip you?
Yeah.
Okay, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It was not intentional. Somehow I checked you off. Sorry. Go ahead.
Where was I?
I am sorry.
Please
Closed down Friday.
Yeah.
We're closing down Friday. Everybody's losing their jobs again. Oh, I was saying how much, well, I've moved my tables around. I've done everything. And I think most restaurants in Coos County have. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm just asking for your help to support us. And that's it.
All right. Thank you. Sorry for
Thank you.
interrupting you. I was so confused.
The lady in the yellow coat had her hand up too.
Okay, I'll get her after that. Go
Morning,
ahead.
Commissioners.
Morning.
My name is Rod Taylor from Bandon. Our Constitution in the Bill of Rights affords us the right to the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. It affords us the right to freedom of commerce, freedom of association, freedom of religion. These rights have been impeded, they have been trespassed by the unconstitutional mandates of the governor. The governor does not have the constitutional authority to issue the dictates that she has. And yet, we as a society comply willingly, like lemmings. We are here as citizens of Coos County because we are stating that the Constitution assumes absolute individual liberty. What the Constitution limits is the power of government, not the rights of the people. And it is high time
that we as a society take back that territory that has been lost. We have surrendered far too many of our liberties. Every person in this room has the liberty to practice their own safety, their own religion, their own gatherings, their own commerce, their own pursuits within the bounds of law, which is legislated and adjudicated. It is not written from the governor's desk. That is not how it goes. That is not how it's supposed to happen. So what Rob delivered to you, the declaration that he delivered to you, is a declaration of the people of Coos County. And what we are directing you, the elected officials that we elected, that we pay, and this applies to the city councils and the county commission equally. And that's the work group that we want to see as a combination of all the city councils and the county commissioners to stand up in unity with the people to say, okay, people, we recognize that your liberties have been impeded, and we are going to stand in unity with you to say Coos County is a zone where the Constitution and your personal liberties will be respected and will be protected. County policies have an impact on the lives of the citizens. Okay? That's why our citizens, we as citizens, expect you to exercise your authority, to have an influence in the direction that our county takes and the cities take within our county, and how we respond to the governor's unconstitutional mandates. You have power as legislative authorities. That power is given to you by us. Exercise it correctly. We implore you. This is not the last meeting where you're going to hear about this, and the next time there are going to be more of us. So do the right thing and do it right away. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Piece of clarification, sir. Your name was Rod Taylor? Rod.
Taylor,
Okay.
with a D,
I just wanted to make sure.
Often point of confusion with
All
my
right.
brother Rob.
Thank you. All right, Bob said, lady in the yellow jacket, did you have your hand up? Sorry.
My name's Maria Mariam, and I am a business owner in Bandon. I run a dance studio. I'm not just here for myself, though. As a business, we have lost 70% of our income for this year. So that's rough. But I have a lot of conversations with the business owners down in Bandon. And when our restaurants are shut down, the business owners tell me they might as well have just shut down the whole town because it's empty. So they're panicked. They are panicked. And so I implore you to do everything in your power. Coalescing with our school boards. The Bandon School Board has had it. You know, they want the kids in school. Work with them. Use the county and the city municipalities and school boards to come together. You know, this virus is not going to go away. We are, you know, we've all done so many things to, we do care about everything. You know, this is not a partisan issue. This is bipartisan. It's not about politics anymore. It's about survival. It's not politics. It's survival.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman in the back, come on up.
My name's Carl Legacy. I'm a resident of Curry County in Illinois, so I just want to take this opportunity. I'm hoping that the folks here, we're discussing a lot of things about the businesses, the way we're being set up. We're being set up like bowling pins with the mask ordinances, with everything that's going on. We're marching along, just like the little Germans. Now, this is the tip of the iceberg. Everybody looks to the vaccine, and that's the only reason I'm standing here today. I heard that word. Everybody looks to the vaccine as some kind of salvation. Does anybody here understand that it is not a vaccine? If you look at me and, oh, here's an old guy that's just talking crazy. nanotechnology put into a COVID vaccine that everybody's looking to as a salvation. If everybody in this room would just simply Google nanotechnology in the COVID vaccine, you'll find something. I could go into it, but it's something that attaches to every molecule in your body. It will not leave.
That's right.
It is attaching to your DNA. Now, I was a nuclear radiation worker as a construction worker. I was told the effects of low-level radiation were harmless. They've discovered since then that dosimetry that I wore gave me so many milligrams per entry into a containment center of a nuclear power plant. I still don't know what it affected me. And that's after years and years. How can they ram a COVID vaccine, or a vaccine they're calling, down that's basically been developed in the last few months? That's all I just wanted to bring up. When I heard the word vaccine, I just had to say, I hope everybody does investigate it before you even consider having somebody inject something into your body that they do not know what it's going to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was there anyone else? Because I have a couple of people that are wanting to testify on a different issue. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Matt Wolbanks, Coos Bay. I run dailyresistor.com. I just wanted to add a few comments. I came in late and trying to talk, but the gentleman that trumpeted the 300,000 dead, wanted to give some background on why that number is a blatant lie. It's not that 300,000 people haven't died. It's the number of case count. Okay. What do we mean when we say a COVID case? How is that determined? Okay. In this country, 99% of the time, that's determined by what's called an RT-PCR test, a reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction test. Okay. It was developed by a gentleman, a doctor named Kerry Mullis, who subsequently won the Nobel Prize for his discovery. Okay. This is a Nobel Prize winner. He is well known for saying that this is a research tool. It is not meant for clinical diagnosis. Okay. What does PCR or RT-PCR do? It takes minuscule amounts of RNA, or on an RT-PCR test, it takes the RNA and converts it to DNA. Okay. In effect, anybody who's ever used a copy machine, you take a piece of paper and you copy it. You copy the copy. You copy the copy again. You copy the copy again. It gets worse with every cycle. Okay. An RT-PCR test or a PCR test does the same thing with RNA. It takes minuscule amounts of RNA found in the sample they take of you, and it runs cycles on it until the sample is large enough to examine scientifically with a microscope. Okay? The problem is the number of cycles. Okay? Dr. Anthony Fauci is on record saying that any RT-PCR test beyond 35 cycles is completely illegitimate. Commonly in the United States, we use 42 to 45 cycles to get a large enough sample to claim someone is positive. Okay? Even at 35, it has a 70% false negative rate. False positive rate. 70% at 35 cycles. You can imagine how bad it is at 42 to 45 cycles. So when they run these tests, they're claiming the person was positive for COVID-19, and then if that person dies, it's a COVID-19 death. Okay? These people, the great majority of them, are in care homes. They have comorbidities. They were going to die anyway, as one lady said, from the flu. We have thousands and thousands of flu deaths a year. If you look at the all-cause deaths, the amount of people who die in this country every year from all causes, car wrecks, heart attacks, whatever, we are barely above baseline. 300,000 is a blatant lie. The case count in this state, which I believe just they claim went above 95,000, is a blatant lie. You have at least a 70% error rate on that number. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. With that, I don't see any other hands up, and I've got a couple people that want to speak on another issue. All right, come on up.
Hello, my name is Damon Hazen. I go by David. I live in North Bend. quite a few other things, and this, most of the COVID stuff and what this last gentleman said, he's exactly right. I studied mathematical algorithms. I mean, I've had an incredible amount of math. A few years of calculus, a couple years of discrete math. I'm sure you guys have an idea how much math that is, and how much, how much logic is involved in that, and how much analysis that might involve, and what might how I might think or analyze something, or the details that I might go into. So, what I've discovered is that there's a doctor that's in Canada that manufactures the tests for COVID, who has said that these masks are ridiculous. He said that that the particulates for COVID is so small that it will not protect it goes through the mask. The N95 mask won't even work. And then the particulates go 30 meters, not 6. And a positive test case is not, or a positive test result on a COVID test is not an actual thing to be involved with. It is an infection. So if you get an infection result, is what you need to be involved with, is what you need to be concerned with. And there is an incredible amount of false positives, and they use most folks are using the test that gives you the highest amount of false positives, so you can push fear on the people. So you can use these, which is causing fear and causing the anxiety and causing the keeping kids out of school where they shouldn't be. Kids should be in school, because they don't, kids their immune systems are such that they don't get infected by this stuff. Their immune systems are such that they don't take it home.
Thank you, David. Thanks for your time. All right. Dick?
Can I say something on this subject?
I suppose. I don't know how,
I think we're opening up. If we do one recycle, everyone gets to do it.
yeah.
Make it quick.
Please make it quick, and then I want to give, do you want to have anything you want to say? Or?
No.
Okay. Bob, did you want?
Well, I
okay.
will. I will.
All right. Go ahead.
Bob doesn't understand a lot of these people are feeling. But I just lost an 88-year-old brother a week and a half ago from COVID. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's up to you. But if you get sick with it, don't go to the hospital, because I've got a granddaughter that's up there, works in the hospital, and a daughter-in-law works in the hospital. And I don't think they need to get it from somebody because they. Then they can stay home.
Sir?
They want to be careful.
Please. Thank you, Dick. Guys, it's important that we're respectful to each other, all right? This country, dialogue has really...
Sheriff, there are some people that
I
I
can't
respect
do
their
this.
authority, but I don't think they respect our right to run a meeting in an orderly fashion, and I would ask you, if it wouldn't put you in a bad spot, to escort the next person that has an outburst like that from the room. Sorry to put you in that spot. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I do. I appreciate all of you being here. A time or two back on a board meeting, I asked, how are we going to fight all this from Salem? I don't agree with the governor at all, or Newsom, or whatever his name is up there in Washington. I made a lot of notes that I have found out. Only you have a 99.6% survival rate on COVID, so far as I can tell. That is better than the average flu. Most people who die from the flu, almost all, are very elderly, and they are compromised with all kinds of things. I was talking about the PCR test. If you replicate that up to 40, 45 times, you can improve almost anything. They used that initially, and they use it today for DNA testing for crime scenes. But for replicating for testing for COVID, I don't believe that's applicable or a proper use of that particular test. Anything more than 30, you can almost prove anything that you have all kinds of diseases on your body at any one time. Closed, not closed? It's crazy. Why is the liquor store or the marijuana store open and the restaurant is not? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever at all, or the hair cutter or anything else. It's just plain, the state has revenue from those particular businesses, not from the others, other than income tax. Masks, I can't breathe with these things on. I have to take it off immediately when I go out of the room. I only do it because of the county would get restricted by the governor, which I don't agree with the governor in the first place, but it really irritates me, this whole thing. I went to Salem with the Timber Unity folks, with 15,000 of us showed up on the steps of the Capitol building. I think at least several 100,000 people need to descend on the Capitol at any one particular day in the near future and say, we've had enough of this kind of baloney. Why is it that South Dakota, Florida, et cetera, are open and they don't have any more cases than anybody else? So that's my rant for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Sweet? I will say, I know you guys don't see this because you have your own jobs and your own lives, and you're out there working hard and trying to keep your businesses open. But your commissioners have spent the last 9 months trying to do everything we can to keep businesses open and protect the public health in this county. It may not seem like it to you. You may not hear it from us all the time, but we have worked tirelessly trying to do everything we can to maintain that balance. And we have asked for rational regulations. We have pushed back on the governor's office, and frankly, it's the governor's office making the decisions and letting us know what those decisions are. You can say that's not fair. We have said many times that that is not fair. And Rob, as president of the Association of Oregon Counties, we have also pushed back, and we have been working really hard to get these changed. You may not agree with working within the system, but that is really the option we have as elected officials, is working within the system. We have repeated those same things that you have said, that we are not seeing transmission in restaurants, that this doesn't make sense to restrict restaurants. I went in a restaurant the other day that looked like, there was so much plastic hanging up, it looked like you could perform a serial murder and not have any evidence left when it was over. But frankly, that's what we can continue to do. As citizens, I would encourage you, and we will reach out to our fellow city councils and see if we can get something set up. But as citizens, I would encourage you to reach out to your legislators, to send emails to the governor's office. This will be put up on PEG Broadcasting's website. I would encourage you to send the link to that to the governor's office. Let them know how this is affecting you. We will continue to do what we can within our levels of authority. We will push back. This is why, we all three of us serve on different state boards and make sure that Coos County's voice is heard. We will continue to do that. And I guess I would urge you, don't necessarily take out your frustrations on your local governments. They are trying. They are doing everything they can. The decisions are not being made at the local government level. You know, we are not telling the sheriff, go out and arrest people that are gathering in groups of more than 6. And the sheriff is not doing that. You know, so with that, I appreciate all of you coming today. I know you're all busy. I know that 9:30 on a Tuesday morning is, you probably had other things planned. So thank you for taking the time to come to us and tell us about your concerns. And we will reach out to the other city councils and see if there's some way to get something set up in a way that everyone is comfortable with. So that may be honestly a Zoom meeting, because this gathering is too large currently for state restrictions. And we, you can say that, but we can potentially get fined by OSHA because we have employees in this room. And that's not a responsible use of your tax dollars for us to use them to pay OSHA. So, all right. No. Please stop. Please stop. This is not meant to be a give and take. This is my opportunity to speak. I've listened to all of you speak. And so let me just say that. And that's what I've got. Did you have something else you wanted to say, Commissioner Maine?
I guess what I said a couple board meetings ago was that there needs to be a movement statewide that says we've had enough. And go. And I know this is a good start for local, but every county in Oregon needs to do that. Whether it's Gillum County with 1,300 people or Multnomah County with several millions, they just need to say enough is enough. We're not going to do that.
We just want you to know we're going to put together the homework for you from a lot of professional people with facts and stuff.
You need a group like Timber Unity that has one voice, that goes in mass and coordinates with everybody to say enough is enough.
If I may, Bob, recruited 7 counties this weekend to adopt this declaration and generate their own groups to do exactly what we're doing here.
I noticed Josephine County had their own resolution here a couple weeks ago, actually. Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, I have 2 other people that are here on a different public comment issue. Del Carter? Yes. It's not a specific agenda item, is it?
No, it's just, but I'm here for redemption. I want to tell her to get on property. And I'm actually a resident of that property.
Okay. That got, actually, I am so sorry. That got pulled. Apparently it got paid.
The one on Tierra?
Right?
Yeah.
That's pulled. They paid it. Somebody paid it yesterday.
Yeah, I am sorry. If I thought you were here on a different one, or else I would have. Well, I hope you enjoyed our public comment period.
Thanks for staying.
Yes, it did. It got paid yesterday. If you want, yes, right there is our finance director / treasurer, and she can verify that for you.
This lady in the red is here for something.
Did you want to give public comment, or? Okay, or you can send it. I think I need you up there, or else the mic won't pick you up.
I really hate speaking in public.
Well, you're in luck. Like a lot of people have left at this point.
now.
It's just kind of quasi-public now.
So my name is Christine McCulloch. I'm a business owner in Bandon. And I'm just here to speak up because we really want to open up schools, businesses. We have a business in Old Town. All of my neighbors are struggling. The honest.
Nat, can you ask them to take it outside the door, please?
Can you get a little closer to the mic?
Yeah.
Pull it over towards you. And
Yeah, I'd like to take this.
you got to get right up close to it.
Okay, sorry. Did you get my name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christine McCulloch.
So just coming to implore us to try and work together. I understand that there's only so much we can do at a local level. We have small children. We are currently able to pay to send our children someplace with more children in a less clean environment. I mean, very safe, but still, I'm paying for that for 4 children instead of sending my children to school. It's not what we want. It's not the right thing. And we need to open. Like I said, 99%. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? We did the 2-week period. We shut down our business. Whatever we can support at this point. We sat down and we did everything we could. We shut, we masked, we cleaned, we taped the floors, we counted people. I watched my band and school board last night, and I see them, and succeed and our children to be in the best and safest environment possible.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do to get there, please help.
Agreed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry, I wrote down names, Bobby, of anybody I added. Okay. With that, our first agenda item is 4A, which is request approval of contract amendment 159806-15 with OHA and authorized chair to sign. Coos Health and Wellness. Mike?
Yeah, just a second. I'm getting my paperwork. Sorry about that. I believe this is a contract from the state that is moving some money, removing some money from preparedness, fiscal year 20, and increasing funds for COVID monitoring for fiscal year 21.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the contract amendment with OHA and authorize the chair to sign. The contract number is 159806-15.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 4B, request approval of contract amendment 159772-3 with OHA and authorized chair to sign.
This contract is for additional money for our aid and assist program, and it extends the contract through calendar year 2021.
Okay.
I move we approve the contract amendment with an Oregon Health Authority number 159772-3 and authorize chair to sign.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. 3C, request approval of contract renewal with Peggy Davidson, CHW.
Yes, this contract is a long-standing contract that we're renewing with Peggy. She does our child needs assessments and adolescent needs assessments for our DHS referrals.
Okay.
Move approval, move that we approve and sign the contract renewal with Peggy Davidson.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 4D, request approval of creating new position / job description for and approval to post and fill mental health specialist 2 lead.
Yes, this actually, we want to approve the position as well as approve posting and filling the position, including up to step 4. So this is a position that we've programmed that we've had in the past. When that person left, we were unsuccessful in getting someone to fill it, so we actually discontinued the program. David has been talking to someone that is in Lane County that is currently doing that, and they are going to pass the program over to us. So this is the person that we want to hire is actually doing the program, and that's why we're requesting to fill it with step 4.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
Move to approve mental health specialist 2 lead for older adult behavioral health coordinator and approve post-filling a position up to including step 4 if necessary, commencing January 1, 21.
Second.
All right. Discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Is that it for you, Mike?
I'm supposed to have a late agenda item possibly.
Late?
I think Caroline was working on it. Did that go through?
Oh,
I don't know.
She appears to be coming our way with something.
Yeah, Caroline, they have to vote to add it first. Respectfully request the board to accept a late agenda item that I just was made aware of yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I move we review a late agenda item.
Second on the late.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mike, do you want to go ahead and tell us what this is?
Yeah, so we are requesting the board to approve us hiring a person for our acting lead at step 3. She has a license and she has 10 years experience and she's highly qualified.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I move approval to hire at step 3 of pay scale 447.
A second.
All right, discussion?
This is a position we already have?
Yes, this is the current position that is unfilled.
Oh, okay.
Because we're hiring at step 3, we're required to
Yeah, I
make the
know.
decision.
I just wondered if we had this.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Request approval to purchase radios and authorize Captain Fabrizio to sign quote. Sheriff?
Good morning.
Morning, Sheriff.
For the use of Homeland Security grants, we're requesting the purchase of replacement of portable radios and components as described in grant number 20-211. Homeland Security grant. The county anticipated and budgeted $33,000, but the purchase of the radios will be $33,328.20. Total grant was for $33,221.80. The difference is $106.40, and we will pay for that out of our supply item. And we're requesting that the board approve that, and Captain Fabrizio be authorized to sign for that grant to replace those portable radios.
Madam Chair, move to approve purchase of radios for use at County Sheriff's Office with Homeland Security grant funds and supply item funds of $106.40, and give signing authority to Captain Gabriel Fabrizio for a quote of Q08442 from Day Wireless.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff, you have a late agenda item, Senate Bill 1049, definition of salary for PERS.
Yes. The background to this is starting January 1st, 2020, members' annual subject salary that is used to determine contributions and the final average salary used as calculated retirement benefits under the formula limited to $195,000 to $16,260 per month. And this monthly limit is used to calculate a retired PERS employee's monthly benefit. It does not limit employees' actual salary, only the amount that is used to calculate PERS bonus. And it only applies to salaries paid in eligible Tier 1 and 2 employees, lump sum payments for the fiscal year 2020 and beyond. What's happened is I have an employee who's retiring, and because he's a long-term employee, this impacts him, but not as negatively as we originally thought. I know that Sergeant Moore, representing the Police Association Deputy Sheriff here, wanted to talk a little bit about this. Deputy Floyd is here because he was the one that brought it to our attention. Up to 3 months prior to retirement, employee can request in writing that they would like to have some of their bank accruals paid out in a separate check to get them under that monthly figure. So I know that Nathaniel reviewed this. He may have some input. We were requesting to do this for that employee so we could maintain that he get his full employment, full ability to get the retirement he would obtain had they not changed the rules recently.
Okay. He can't be old enough to retire anyway.
So I just, to give a little background to it, I can't provide a full analysis. The problem is that until PERS looks at, what the individual has made for the last 3
Right.
years and runs their calculations and gets those detailed numbers, I can't really speak to that. What I can say is the issue is just that if an individual gets paid more than $16,250 in 1 month, anything above that does not count as salary, so it's
Right.
excluded from salary. So the county wouldn't make an equal contribution to an IAP account. Also, it could impact what the final average salary calculation is.
Right.
However, there are some exclusions from the final average salary calculation that may be pertinent here. I'm not sure, but I do know that accrual of vacation time, and sick time for Tier 2 would both be excluded from final average salary, though they may be counted as salary for other purposes. So it gets really complicated really fast. Only PERS really knows the answer as far as what the ultimate impact
It's a
is.
PERS mystery. This
Yeah.
seems like a reasonable enough solution, though, if, right? The requested action seems,
My understanding is, yeah, if it's not an issue as long as we're under 195,000 in a year or 16,250 in a given month.
Well, we had something from PERS?
pardon me?
We had, as the,
Does either one of you want to address this?
Good.
We've had, and this is anecdotal, I'm not necessarily directly from PERS. We've had recent officers who have applied for retirement, submitted their paperwork. Thank you for this damn thing they're saying.
yeah,
Who submitted their paperwork and been informed by PERS that it would actually negatively, and they're planning on retiring in the first case next year, and would actually negatively impact their first payout in the end, in perpetuity for the rest of their lives. And other agencies and city governments have agreed to actually pay the officers accruals early, so that they would be calculated previous year, or to spread it out over multiple months so that it wouldn't.
So it doesn't go over the cap.
Reach the $16,250 limit.
Right. Makes sense to me, and Megan doesn't appear to be having a heart attack over there, but maybe she is.
And PERS, I think, I
You
don't,
can't do CPR through a mask anyway.
Come on up, you can have that spot. Have to turn it on. I don't know, the battery may have gone dead waiting, who knows?
I'll just yell.
All right,
So, I think we would just need a side agreement for the union contract, because it specifically states in there upon termination, they get paid out
right.
for their accruals. So, in order for us to do it early, we would need a side agreement with the union.
And we could just say like up to 3 months before termination.
Yeah, and I would just
Yeah.
like to say
Yep.
that there is a risk to where if we pay out someone's accruals and they decide not to retire.
Yep,
yeah.
So, just to
True.
play a
Well,
little devil's advocate.
Have we had anything, has that individual had anything from PERS stating all this?
The one officer, yeah, was at 250, yes, he had.
No, I'm talking about ours.
Hours, just had a meeting.
I just met with George yesterday.
Okay, well, oh, yeah, it's Toby. I didn't recognize him.
confidentiality's out the window now, Toby.
There he is.
Yeah, and I'm not, technically I'm not retiring, I'm going into the private sector, to a different form of employment.
You're
So-
retiring from public service.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And what did they tell you?
What's that?
What did they tell you?
Well, PERS cannot give me financial advice, so I'm meeting with a financial person, and I'm gonna probably meet with the same lady out of Deschutes County, the other officer that everybody knows that's retiring on the same day as me, so, but from a different agency.
But they wouldn't tell you about this particular new statute that's come online
It takes
about?
effect January 1st.
Yeah, but
And
did they
I
advise,
intend to retire January 31st, so.
did they advise you to, did they advise you to ask your employer to pay out early?
PERS advised me to seek the assistance of a financial assistant.
That was a non-answer, in other words.
PERS can't give him financial
They
advice.
can work up the
Well, I know, but they could give
complication.
him advice on the,
Right.
how the law would affect him.
I can tell you that was the advice that the officer at another agency got from the same financial advisor, was to get an early payout, to prevent the loss of funds from his first payout.
Yeah. And it's not intended towards all public employees. I think the focus of that particular Senate bill is to alleviate, those high.
It's the Mike Bellotti rule.
Mike Bellotti,
Exactly, that's what we call it in the office.
Yeah.
And does it only affect the people retiring December, January of 2021? From future, it wouldn't affect
Everybody
that.
future with retires.
Moving forward,
So
yeah.
Depending on what time of the year you retire, if you retire later into the year, that cap is spread out over.
Yeah,
a
okay.
long period
have to average it out, so.
Yeah, they kind of prorate it.
So this is a
Right.
unique situation.
This should be,
If
should
you
only affect
retire-
one person in my agency ever. at this
If you
point.
retire in January and you have accrued a lot of vacation and or sick time or comp time, and you have a large payout, then that puts you over the cap because it's just 1 month to base it on. And PERS takes it like that's what you got paid this month, so you're gonna
We'll
potentially
average it
get
out for the whole
paid
year.
Right.
Yes,
that every month for
Right.
the rest of the year.
So
right.
I have another question. It wouldn't affect if you're tier 1, but if you're tier 2, it does?
Trying to think what this, well, tier one is.
It's tier 1 and
Tier
2.
1
Yeah.
and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, there is an ORS that says tier 2, vacation and sick buyout does not affect the average calculation for your pension, but it does affect how much the county contributes to the IAP.
Okay.
I believe that, not to interrupt you, but I believe that ORS, and I got it from HR, though, has not been updated to reflect the new bill.
And that's possible.
Okay. So-
I'm not sure it was changed, but
So we could just authorize legal counsel to negotiate a side agreement with CADS to reflect this change.
and leave it at that. That's what was gonna be
Yeah.
my question, is whether we wanted to do a global thing for
And
a
Sue,
general county policy and something with CADS, or just go with CADS for
I think
now?
just
It's pretty
CADS.
small. They're probably not gonna
Yeah.
come up against.
I think,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
it's going to have to
Okay.
be done quickly, too.
yep, which is why someone should make a motion and we could vote.
Okay. Madam Chair, make a motion for county council to work with CADS for this whole new, whatever law this thing is on PERS, the 195,000 limit or the 16,250 per month to calculate retired PERS employees' monthly benefit. I guess that covers it. Is it?
I think the essence of it is we gotta send a check out, not
Yeah,
just.
what we're asking for is 90, just being able to be paid out
Yeah.
90 days prior to our retirement.
Up to
Okay.
90 days prior to
Up to
retirement,
90 days
they can
prior
receive
to
their
retirement. And the county council worked that out with CADS.
Would you like to
As a side
second that
agreement.
fine motion?
I wanna make sure, Bobby, I wanna get this, I wanna read the minutes
Can
on
you-
this one.
Can you read that back to us, Bobby?
The rambling motion, yes.
I second it, we'll work out something
All right.
that'll
We-
make this happen.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
All right. I'm back to 4F, which is request approval of resolution for equal employment opportunities policy. County Council?
All right, so Resolution 2012-245L adopts the Coos County Employment Opportunity Policy, Equal Employment Opportunity Policy with an effective date of January 1st, 2020. I think it's supposed to be 2021. And this is a requirement for federal grant funding.
Yeah.
And we're also working on an equal opportunity plan that will supplement this, but at this point, we have the policy done, so we're getting that in place first.
Okay. Yeah, the resolution says 2021. Do we have a motion?
I move we assign Resolution 20-12-245L, approving revised equal employment opportunity policy.
Second?
Yes,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
nay,
Opposed?
yep.
All right. Let the record reflect
I
that
get
Commissioner
tired
Maine
of
is opposed to equal employment, equal
Tired of
opportunity
the
and employment.
federal government telling us that we should be whatever when we're not.
All right. Request approval of property line adjustment. Land agent. Better watch out. Bob's feeling feisty today. He may not like this property line adjustment
Darn
either.
right.
Get too close, Mike.
It's a pretty heavy file, Bob, you don't want to throw that.
Be careful of your head.
So I'm here to get your feeling on a proposed property line adjustment. I think you've got the map in front of you. It's on an accelerated foreclosure that we did in East Side. The next door neighbor over 15
Yeah.
feet of it, then
And this is
the
our
property
piece
line will
that
be
goes on
about
the
18 feet from both
18 to the house
residences.
here.
The property
18 to
will be
our
up for
house.
auction
Okay.
next spring. The potential new buyer will never even know the difference. So it will give us some additional income. I don't know, it amounts to about 1,200 square feet. I'm not sure what you would think that would be worth, but she's willing to pay for it. She's gonna pay all the costs of the survey, the property line adjustment, but I just needed to know your feelings on it. And then we would take it from there.
Madam Chair, I'm okay with adjusting the property line. The person gaining the 15 feet is willing to pay for the expenses and whatever the property happens to be worth, so that gives, her house sits with less than 3 feet or 3 feet or so from her property line now. It's hard to work on your house with you only got 3 feet.
Right.
It would give her another 15 feet or 18. Then from that property line, the adjustment part, to our current foreclosed house is another 18 feet. So it seems like a reasonable offer, a reasonable request.
It seems very reasonable to me, but I'd like county council to look into this, because are we not selling property at something other than auction, property that's not really ours?
Yeah, that,
And
that's why.
would we be violating any state ORS if we did this?
So we just took this in accelerated foreclosure. It hasn't gone to auction yet.
Right.
I have to take a look at ORS 275 again. I didn't see this agenda item when it came through, because it didn't come through my office, so I didn't have the opportunity to review it. So,
I'm fine with the idea, I just,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yep.
inadvertently.
Well, it's a good catch.
I think all the surveyor wants is he wants to proceed with possibly doing this.
I'm finding
Yeah, well,
concept.
As Matt checks it out, it's completely,
Mhm.
legally, and then we'll go ahead and proceed.
Sure.
If you're in favor of it.
Mhm.
I'm finding concept.
Yep.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
am too. I am too.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's see if we can.
We'll leave
get
it at
done.
that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
If that works, thank you so much.
Madam Chair, move to approve the consent calendar.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval of infection control plans, human resources.
You're throwing
Nope.
things.
am I
Did the
human
sheriff's, I did
resources
6A,
now?
I
right?
don't know, I guess so.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm
6B?
just struggling with my agenda items.
All right,
All right, so the risk manager completed the infection control plans that will keep the county in compliance with the new temporary rule implemented by Oregon OSHA. Essentially, this is each county facility has to have a plan for how they're going to deal with having a COVID positive individual in their workforce that was identified to have been in that facility. And it creates a way that they report it to risk management, and then it adopts OSHA's guidelines for deciding on who stays home under those requirements. And in practice, though, I've noticed that, people are generally very, very careful about this, and we've been encouraging people to stay home if there's really any risk. So this definitely doesn't expand that.
okay. So do we have a motion to approve the infection control plans?
I move we approve the infection control plan.
And second?
Nope.
I will second. Discussion?
Just another one of these baloney things that I don't agree with.
Well, I don't believe in getting fined by OSHA, so
Well,
I'll go.
I can just tell them to, never mind.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bob?
Nope.
Opposed?
Yep.
All right. And with that, we are on to Doris Sitcom Rural Fire Protection District Vehicle Garage Project Contract Amendment with HGE. Is this number 9? Yeah.
Yep.
So change order number 9, I think the agenda cover sheet speaks for itself. We are just nearing completion of the Doris Sitcom vehicle garage. I think I forwarded some of you a photograph this morning showing it in its final stages. So change order number 9, just they're still having
Oh, yeah.
And, the harvesting of the rainwater for the storage tanks used to fill the vehicles. So change order number 9 will fix that once and for all. And so if we do have some heavy rains, that will create runoff, onto the property, that will perhaps, erode the structure of the foundation.
God, I hope
And-
not.
And then there's a slight, extension of the, final date for when to complete this, when Elder, the construction company, to complete this from January 5th to January 12th.
Yep.
So a 1-week extension, just because we're having some issues with some parts.
We should really take a field trip up there.
I move we approve change order number 9 in the amount of $1,961 for upgrades specified above, and approve extending the construction end date from January 5, 2021 to January 12, 2021. How much is this garage going to end up costing?
Wait a minute, second.
So, and it should be just noted on the record that all, this change order, of course, all funds will come out of the community development block grant, so no county general funds will be.
Yeah.
So there have been no county general funds ever
Yeah, but I'm
spent on
curious
this.
nonetheless, how much is this garage costing?
So we are nearing final, completion. I think I can easily get a number for you and I can email that.
That'd be great, thank
But
you.
it's going to be, a wonderful asset to the.
Oh, I'm not.
It just
It is
just
going to
seems
be the
like
finest building in
I'm
all
glad
of
the
Dorset
nation, I'm
County.
glad the nation is paying for it, though, not the,
It
not the
sounds like the
county.
never-ending project.
Yes, and hopefully we'll never need it, but, who knows?
How long we been at this? About 5
5
years
years,
now?
I think, 5 years.
Is there any site for completion?
And if not for the
Yeah.
site being a wetland delineation site, and having to go through that entire process, which took almost 2 years, this would have already been built by now, but because the site is mostly marsh and bog, and then there's a little area where the garage is being built that
Yeah.
isn't subject to the flood line, it would have, it was a long project.
So it's supposed to be complete the 12th of January?
The construction portion, substantial construction portion.
Substantial
There's
completion.
more to come.
Maybe a few, yeah.
So,
Final details, electrical, that type of thing.
Oh,
do we know
they
their
want
occupancy
electricity
date?
Electrical?
We don't, but, no, it's just minor adjustments to the electrical. We don't, but I believe that they're planning on some kind of ribbon cutting ceremony out there, and it would be wonderful if all 3 commissioners could attend.
Is there a proposed date on that?
Not yet.
Okay.
Let's try for better weather. You do it in the summer.
They are doing on Thursday at 10 in the morning, they're doing the punch list
Oh, are they?
out there, so
They're
if
doing a
anybody
what?
wants to go for a drive.
What?
They're doing a what?
The punch list.
I don't-
Checking
The
to make sure that
walkthrough.
everything that's
Oh,
supposed to be
okay,
there is
all right.
there.
Yeah.
It's really looking very,
I love the picture you sent this morning. It looks amazing.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Looks
you
nice.
didn't?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no, I left my stuff at,
Oh, okay.
I don't bring.
I showed it to Bob, I guess. I didn't show it to you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I showed it to Bobby.
I got it.
Yeah, that's all.
I have it on my phone here.
I have too, but I left my phone in the office,
Ah, there it is.
which I do so I'm not being interfered with.
I know.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
nice.
And then close out of the ground is expected
Wow.
in March, so that will clear the county off this.
Man.
To pave way
That's
for
dandy.
no other project.
Because you guys can't wait to do another community development block grant for somebody, right?
That would fall to Michelle and come.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
Megan looks really excited, too.
Can you amend your motion to authorize the chair to sign?
Oh, an
That
authorized
wasn't
chair to
included
sign.
on this, but-
An authorized chair to sign.
I second the amendment.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval of collective bargaining agreement with FAPO.
So FAPO has agreed to, and we've tentatively agreed to, a new collective bargaining agreement for the period of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. And it's good to have that, that bargaining close to being wrapped up here.
Okay.
I move we approve and sign the collective bargaining agreement with FAPO dated July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2023, and sign resolution 2012246P.
Second.
All right, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Letter regarding proposed closure of Shutter Creek. Commissioner Sweet?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
a letter that I would like the board to sign and send to the governor opposing the proposed closure of the Shutters Creek Correctional Facility that she included in her budget proposal.
Okay, should we send it to the Tri-Chairs of Ways and Means too?
Yes, and to SCDC.
All right. So,
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to approve and sign the letter to the governor opposing the proposed closure of Shutter Creek Correctional Institute.
all right. And I will second. Commissioner Sweet, thank you
Second.
so much for taking the lead on this and getting this ready to go.
I would, Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would also like to add the quitclaim deed number to this as an, although the attachment will have it on it, but
Okay.
never
Yeah.
mind.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
With that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.
Motion carries.
We could highlight the part where it says it has to revert back to the United States if they don't have it as a correctional institute anymore, I guess, on the deed.
Yeah. And I think, I think we all understand this, but it's important for the public to understand that the governor's budget is aspirational. She puts it out there and, the legislature makes the ultimate decision. So the important people, it's important that we tell the governor's office, absolutely. And we have several times. But it's also important that people realize that they need to reach out to their legislators and let them know the effect that it will have.
I think this is the first step to a longer process that
Absolutely.
we're going to have to go through to protect the existence of that facility in our county.
Did we send it to all our local reps and senators too?
We can send it
send
to
copies.
everyone in the
With
state.
the copy of the deed attached so they can actually see the reversion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, why don't you make that list up and give it to Bobby, and she'll send copies
Okay.
out after we sign
You may not, we know that it's gonna affect the city of Lakeside with their sewer, because they do the sewer treatment for the Correctional Institute. But it's also the north hub for our 911 system is up there.
That's true.
it. Yeah.
What happens if that shuts down? Do we have to negotiate with the feds then? What,
And what happens to the 100 people that work there?
yeah,
Yep.
all of that, but
And their spouses that
It's
work in the
just-
community. And,
Yeah.
all right, did we vote?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
we're just talking afterwards about it.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, with that, we are now on to commissioners' reports. And you can commission report yourself right into Shutters Creek if anybody wants to.
Okay, well, yeah. It's important because of our 911 system is housed up there as the hub of
It's
the North County.
Important for many reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I went and participated in an OAA meeting, Oregon Anglers Association meeting. And
That group's trying to take over the world, from what I can tell.
Darn
You should
right.
probably change your name to the National Anglers Association.
Yes, you're getting close. Yeah.
All right, you don't want to confine yourselves to Oregon.
True. You have to start somewhere. Did a virtual meeting, South Slough Reserve Board meeting. That took a couple, 2.5, 3 hours. And had the laborious 3-day from 9 to 4 o'clock RAC virtual meeting. RAC is a BLM Resource Advisory Commission where we give out Title II money to various 501c3s, et ceteras, throughout Western Oregon at a tune of $6.6 million. My group, and there are 3 groups, each group has to agree, and all 3 groups have to agree in order to pass a grant. My particular group turned down 2 of the grants for various reasons.
So you were feisty even then.
Yeah, along with Commissioner Pope from Polk County and Commissioner Lily Morgan from Josephine County. And 2 tribal representatives are on our group.
Wow.
I also attended the virtual meeting of the annual Association of Oregon, what do you call it? ONC counties.
Oregon and California.
Oregon, the railroad, the BLM 2.5 million acre piece.
Yeah.
And that went well. So, all in all, that's about all I have so far.
Wow.
Can we have a late agenda item to elect Bob now for next year's RACs? Our
No.
To designate him?
representative? Yeah, indefinitely.
It was 5 days, it was 2 days of orientation,
This could be one of the most important things we
Which-
did today.
which was painful, besides the
That
3
makes it
days of
even more.
rest. There was 100 and some grant requests.
You know, it made me happy though, because I came in the office and he was in there
I know.
on his call.
He
It was great.
Kept him quiet.
He did.
It was-
Hard at work.
Yeah.
It was,
No, he did a great job, and he was very dedicated to it.
laborious.
He
And-
was.
And very seldom complained.
He,
It was
really?
very nice.
He complained a lot to me.
You're more sympathetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I did make the mistake of applying for the following year's RAC. We
Oh,
only
so
go
you
to
already applied.
September of 21, and
You
then
already
the
applied.
new appointments.
Problem solved.
So I could get unappointed with my turn down of a couple of particular grants, so.
I doubt it. No. We'll write letters of recommendation.
No thanks. Just what I need.
What do you have, Commissioner?
Well, I'll go
Sue?
fast.
All right.
I suspect this is old news, but our county was, our COVID ranking has increased from high to extreme. And so effective Friday, there will be some more conditions put on restaurants and a lot of activity in the county. Our cases have actually doubled in the last month, and since the middle of November to the middle of now, December, the number of cases in Coos County has doubled since what we had from the beginning of the year up through the middle of November. Daily new cases change from numbers that run between 0 and 10 up to numbers that run from 10 to 20. So it's pretty big increase. The architects toured the courthouse as part of the courtroom reconstruction. That happened on Wednesday. I attended a meeting, organizational meeting of AOC, where all their chairs and elected officers get together and talk about the chairs of their steering committees get together, and Melissa did a marvelous job of conducting that meeting. It was a 2-hour meeting, and we finished in half an hour. She didn't do so well yesterday at another meeting, but that meeting
Yesterday
was
was
great.
long. We talked about
I
vaccinations.
called in for the Association of Oregon and California Counties meeting, and our own Bob Main was reelected as vice president of the organization. He's done a very, very good job. I really think that organization has done more in the last 2 years than, in my experience, any time before that.
I wondered if he got reelected, because he was muttering to me about maybe not seeking reelection, and so I was afraid to
He didn't
ask.
have, we didn't give him the option.
Good.
Met the County Forest Trust Lands Advisory Committee, met with the Board of Forestry. County Forest Trust Lands are some 600,000 acres of lands in western Oregon, another 100,000 in eastern, that the counties took back for taxes years ago and turned over to the state for management. And they're proposing now to put into effect a habitat conservation plan that would limit harvest to less than half of that acreage. Probably no impact in our county because they haven't harvested anything for our 7,000 acres anyway. But good report. I attended a Coos watershed meeting, and they do some fish counts on a couple of streams that they have been doing work on, and they're actually having pretty healthy spawning runs of Chinook and coho in those streams. These are just a few, but not many. And then on a kind of a sad note that would probably impact a lot of the people in this room if you are talking to Bob today, particularly just after exec session, we were talking about, when do children quit believing in Santa Claus? And it came as a big shock to Bob, and so he's not going to be in a very good mood today. That's all I have to report.
John broke it to him pretty coldly, unfortunately.
I was devastated. All right.
Thank you, Sheriff.
When do the presents arrive?
And I owe the sheriff an apology for suggesting that you should show some people from the room in this situation. It had nothing to do with what they were talking about. It had everything to do with simply the fact that was
Yeah.
inappropriate behavior.
Yeah.
So, well,
No,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and I guess, yeah, we try to give people leeway, realizing that not everybody comes to public meetings all the time and realizes how they're supposed to be conducted, and that, yes, people are emotional, but that was a little too far. So we had Association of Oregon Counties meetings yesterday, and it's funny because, it seems like everything's a moving target. In the meeting yesterday, the discussion was not going to be any special session. Next session will be in February, and just got an email a few minutes ago talking about the third special session that the governor just announced that will be held December 21st, 2020. So there will indeed be a special session after all.
So there is the Senate after all.
Yes, what will be included will be interesting. Who knows? I hate to say the nice part. I find myself attending more meetings than ever during COVID. I don't know about my fellow commissioners, but it does seem like, 3-day Zoom meetings are not that uncommon. And since you don't need travel time, everybody's more than happy to schedule all these meetings back to back. So I've attended a lot of meetings lately, the CCD board meeting, state land board meeting, talking about the Elliott. I'm a member of the EPA Local Government Advisory Council, and we had that meeting. I chaired a NACO Energy, Environment, and Land Use meeting, attended the NACO Rural Action Caucus Conference that was held jointly with the Large Urban County Caucus. And yes, as John mentioned, we held the AOC Officers and Steering Committee meeting. I know Bob hasn't asked about my theme for this year, but it's Rebuild and Reconnect. And chaired an Energy Trust of Oregon board meeting last week, which is why I missed the Association of ONC Counties, but I'm glad to hear that that Bob was reelected. That gives me faith. So with that, we will go ahead and wrap it up, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.